Welcome to day 4 of the International Aerospace Expo. We are making our way up to the showroom right now, and we have the alien ships on display. Now, there are two ships in particular which a lot of people are coming to see. They are not here physically, they are here in hologram form only, and I think you know what they are. But first, let's take a look at what's on the showroom floor. As usual, our slow walk up the ramp, revealing the awesome display. What is it? I blocked it. Well, it's the Prowler in center. Yeah, that is a cool ship, but you know what? There's a bit to talk about. Before I start, I know everyone's asking, hey, where'd you get the armor? This armor is the Artemex armor. It is available in Port O and also What's Her Face and Sons. I forget the name of the store. Tame something. What's Her Face and Sons in Lorville. It's called the Artemex. Artemex helmet. And the core, although the arms I've switched out to ADP black, and also the legs are different just to give it a more chunky look, because that's just how I roll, alright? So here we are. Let's take a look what's on display. I gotta say, the alien ships are my favorite. I love the design, I love the effort and attention they put into the alien ships. Although I hate to say it, they often disappoint when they come into the actual performance. Every single one of these ships is disappointing in its own way. Before I load you with the disappointment, let's take a look at what's on display here. We have, obviously in the holosuite, the Banu Merchantman and the Ghatak Railin, which I do want to see. Both of which have a position in my fleet. And on the floor itself, we have the Banu Defender, Asperia Glaive, the Talon, the Shrike, the Kartu Owl, the Asperia Blade, and the Prowl. You know, let's take a look at the ships on display up here, and we'll make our way downstairs in a second. So first of all, starting off with the Crab here. Banu Defender. Now, this is the ship which is responsible for the Banu Merchantman being sized up the way it has been. To get this ship to fit inside the Banu, they had to make it bigger. So everyone thank Banu Defender for that. Couple of stats on the Banu Defender. It does about 660 DPS with 440 alpha. Nothing special. Shields get a full charge in 15 seconds with 7,500 HP. This ship was pretty mean at launch. It had those... Was it Tachyon? I forgot what the name of the weapon was, but it was a hit scan weapon. The ship was very agile with these awesome hit scan weapons. It has since been nerfed. Those weapons are gone. The ship is way too agile to have those kind of weapons on it, they said. And honestly, I have not flown it in a very, very long time. I just know it's nowhere near the state it was at release, which happens very, very often. A ship is released, it may be a bit OP, they end up balancing it. But overall, for what the ship does, it is a two-seater, it has beds in it, it is pretty large in the interior. You know, let's take a walk inside it. The most unique aspect of this ship is obviously the interior. Is there no lights? So I have to put my flashlight on. But as far as ship interiors go, obviously very unique, and I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of this styling also on the Banu Merchantman. So if you're wondering what your Banu Merchantman will look like, there's going to be a lot of this in there. So, thoughts on the Defender. I think it definitely will have a unique place as far as ships go in Star Citizen. Obviously still being balanced back and forth as are many of these ships. But none bring me as much disappointment as the Prowler did. Now, the Prowler is a ship I absolutely love as far as the aesthetics go. When this thing came on sale, I grabbed it right away. I said, I don't care what the ship is about. I just love the way it looks. This is the Arctic paint, I believe. The stock one does come in black, or at least it's supposed to, unless I've changed that. And it is a troop carrier. If you take a look at the open doors over there, that's where the guys stay inside. They can hop out over there. And on release, this thing was evil. This thing was maneuverable. It put a ton of damage. Right now it does 2,500 DPS with 825 alpha. Nothing special compared to one of the more recent ships like the IAE or Inferno, but decent with 15,000 hit points on the shields. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. However, the maneuverability of it has been nerfed to hell. It is very, very sluggish. It is not really a good fighter anymore. Any small fighter will rip you apart to pieces. But again, I'm hopeful that they find some balance and maybe this isn't the final state of it. I do love the way it looks, but also it's not meant to be a fighter, right? It's a drop ship. You're not supposed to be fighting small fighters or even medium fighters with this. So, we'll see how that ends up. Oh yeah, the Glaive. This was my first alien love, and the fact that you had to complete all waves of the, was it Vanduul Swarm, to be able to even buy the ship, made it kind of rare and difficult to get unless you can have some friends to help you through Vanduul Swarm, which at the time was difficult. I don't know how it is right now. So yeah, also a ship I own, also a ship which I have high hopes for, but it is possibly that this ship will be changing soon. There is a Vanduul Skin, a rework of the Vanduul ships. Now this is not what Vanduul ships look like anymore. Vanduul ships look very, very different. So it's possible that this gets reworked and we do lose this look of it. It may be gone, or maybe they give you the option of keeping this look and introducing the new one. As far as stats go, this ship used to be extremely unique in that it put out 4,000 DPS, I think it was something around a 3,000 alpha damage with these two huge size 5s. Shields, not too great, about 3,000 hit points on the shields. It is kind of a glass cannon, and if you lose a wing, you lose a major part of your offensive capability. But we were coming straight out of Battlestar Galactica around about when this was released, and obviously it looks like something from Battlestar Galactica, right? So I love it. I still love the looks, but when it comes down to performance, nowhere near what the new Ares, Inferno, or Ion can do. Those the Ares on like tanks compared to this, but they are heavy fighters. This is more of a medium fighter, a lot more maneuverable, but a glass cannon. Still, I like it, and has those blades on the end, which are very, very unique. Walking our way around to the Talon. Again, huge fan of the design. I love what they've done with it. But, you take a shot to the wings, you lose a wing. The thing becomes impossible to handle, and problems from there. If they only made it a bit tankier, I'd love it more. It is a very capable fighter in the right hands. It does a lot of damage, very maneuverable. And you switch out those gimbal size 3s for fixed size 4 weapons. It does a lot of damage. So in the right hands, definitely a great little fighter. If you like the looks of it and you're a good dogfighter, then yeah, this is definitely the ship for you. Also has a very unique ejection system where this entire front section over here simply pops off. Although it will in the future, and that is how you eject from the ship. So speaking about ejection and ships that you cannot eject from, this is a ship which that cannot happen. Now the Cartuel was the first alien ship sold, and again, one of my favorites. Now there is a black paint being sold at the moment for this, and I'm considering it. The problem with the Cartuel, it's a light fighter, and you have these awesome size 3s which switch for size 4 fixed, and it puts out a ton of damage for what it is. But in a dogfight, the big problem with this ship is it has no minimal profile. The profile from the front is huge. The profile from the side is huge. The top and the back. The profile is big from whatever area you present to your enemy, and it's impossible to dodge things, and your wings get hit, and your engines break off, and that's the end of you. Now, I know they've strengthened up the struts in recent patches. I haven't flown it recently, but it is not really good as a dogfighter just because it presents such a huge profile. Doesn't matter which angle you are at. Still, gorgeous design, and definitely one of my favorite designs. Going to the front over here, we have the Blade. So the Blade is a light fighter, and if you're a fan of Vanduul, which a lot of you are, it's not bad. I just don't see a lot of people flying this in the game. It's not that popular. I guess there are just better light fighters out there. The Gladius, for one. The Arrow. A lot of these small fighters just outdo this in every single way. But again, if you're about the aesthetics, then yeah. I'm looking forward to see what happens with the Glaive if they follow similar aesthetics to this. Alright, without further ado, let's make our way downstairs and go check out the two big ships that everyone is excited for, the Ghatak Railin and the Banu Merchantman. Let's go. Making our way down the long tunnel, and nothing over there. Alright. Test the limits. We shall. Let's go inside. I believe we should see the Merchantman and the Ghatak Railin right around this corner in 3, 2, and Okay, just the Banu. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Banu Merchantman. A controversial ship in the sense that it just keeps on growing and getting bigger. That's what she said. So this is the first hologram I've seen of it. Okay, honestly, there's nothing too impressive about this because you can't see the color and the details. This wang at the bottom here is, I guess, a fuel scoop. They decided to keep it. It's an interesting design choice. I can't say I agree with that. I mean, fuel scoops can be placed in other places, but it does open up to be this grand staircase when the ship lands, which leads you into the bazaar. A couple of new additions to the design is this, I guess, is a kind of a submarine looking thing sticking up there. That's where the big turret's gonna be. Interesting. I can't say this is, if I was a ship designer, that's not my first choice, but I guess they felt that's where it should be. I mean, I like my ships looking sleek. I like to see the turrets tucked away and hidden away in places. Speaking of tucking away, there's size 8 guns in there somewhere, which is, to me, one of the biggest selling features in this ship, besides the massive amount of cargo. The point that you have these gigantic size 8 guns. Now, you're not going to be shooting any small ship anytime soon, but it just adds this very interesting offensive capability towards medium and large ships that you can actually pull the ship out and do some serious damage to it. Let's read the plaque here. Banu traders are renowned for their merchant prowess, traveling the space lanes and trading with everyone they meet. Their sturdy, dedicated trading ships have proven themselves a vessel ideally suited to the task, and they are prized that they are frequently passed down from generation to generation of Banu. Obviously very special ships and very fancy inside from the shots we've seen. So unfortunately, not too much detail in this hologram, not much more we can see. But one thing to note, now I've mentioned in a recent video, I expect the price to go up. The price right now is $550. I was expecting a huge increase in price right now, but I guess what they are doing is waiting for release to jack up the price. So I never want to say go buy a ship, rush in and get it now, but I do feel at $550 right now during this event is a price we will not be seeing in the future. The ship has recently increased in size yet again, making it much, was it 890 jump or bigger? It's definitely not going to stay this price. And like we saw with the Redeemer, which has now been bumped up to $350, was it? I do expect the Banu Merchantman will be seeing a huge bump in price on release. I suspect there's an entire department, or at least one guy at CIG sitting there with a spreadsheet and working out exactly what ships, at what price, and what stats are selling at. And he's got his charts in front of him, and they've concluded that at $550, they'll be selling the most of these right now. So, yeah, if you are waiting, I mean, we don't know exactly when this will be released, but if you are waiting for a time to buy, now would possibly be the time. Alright, let's make our way to the last ship I really want to see, and one I'm excited for, the Ghatak Railin, which is a cargo ship, an alien cargo ship. Now, I'm not into cargo trading, but I will definitely make an exception because I just love the way this ship looks. The alien ships in Star Citizen, chef kiss. Mwah, beautiful. I love the design. And there she is. Yeah, alright. Again, hologram is not doing too much for you, but awesome ship. Check it out. Currently on sale at $225. It's a bit pricier than the other ships in its class because there's, I guess, an alien tax. 53 meters in length, 52 beam, height 67, cargo capacity 320. Not the biggest, not the best, but definitely the prettiest, and it will be pretty well armored or shielded. And those are with a size 4s, I believe. No pilot-controlled weapons, but two turret gunners will definitely be able to dish out a fair amount of damage. Not supposed to be an offensive ship, but more for defensive purposes. I like it. It's one of the rare cargo ships that I definitely am very, very interested in. The internals of it, the screenshots I showed look spectacular. So that is one of the rare cargo ships in my fleet anyway, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up our tour of the alien ships today. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this content, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and your comments below always appreciated. And let me know if you are buying that Banu Merchantman at this price. I do still expect to go higher. You agree? Yes, no? Comments below. I'll catch you next time. And I kind of like shaking my head as I talk here. It looks kind of cool, right? Yeah, it does.